Hey guys, Julian here from SynthwavePro.com. Thanks for hanging out with me today and clicking on this video. Now in this tutorial, we're going to take a close look at managing layers, specifically when we have multiple instruments stacked on top of one another, all competing for the same frequency range. It causes quite a few problems. So here's a clever way to ensure that they all work together and not step on each other's toes. Let's jump right in. Alright, so here's the problem with managing layers. As you can see, we have quite a few things playing at the same time, several instruments occupying the same frequency space, frequency range, and as a result, it's cluttering the mix. One thing I've found to alleviate or mitigate that problem is to thin out some of those sounds. So we've talked about high passing or low passing rather certain sections of an instrument to give way for another. One way we can do this is by reducing the amount of notes we're playing. For instance, let's compare, let's say this section, our chorus, right? And we'll compare it to this section. Let me play this section first and we'll focus on the chords. All right, very dense. About 6 notes per chord. All right, so this is the focus. Fine. And of course, once we get to the melody, we low pass those higher frequencies so that we give room for our lead. But pay attention to what's going on the second time around, or more like the drop. Here's what's happening to those chords. Alright, so as you can hear, we have quite a few things playing at the same time. We are introducing some new lead lines. We also have some layers, some filtered synths, some stabs, some arpeggiators, and some new percussive hits all playing at the same time. So now we have to figure out a way of reducing the sort of energy that our chords have. We can no longer play this sort of 6-note chord anymore. So what we've done is that we've highlighted some of the top notes, some of the upper notes, and we've just muted them. So as you can see, our pad instrument goes through a number of changes throughout the duration of the song. Sometimes we'll apply a low pass filter just to remove some of the higher frequencies there to give room to a lead instrument or another layer. Other times we are going to slap on a utility plugin and start riding the fader, meaning that we are going to lower or raise the volume every now and then just to accommodate another instrument. But with this technique here, we are going to mute specific notes and give ourselves some space for other instruments to shine through. I really like this technique because first of all, our pad instrument maintains the same sonic palette throughout the entire song. Second of all, I don't think our listener realizes that we've gone ahead and deliberately muted a few notes. In other words, I don't think they're going to sit there and realize that, hey, a few notes have been muted. And third of all, the most important tip is that we are going to save some headroom. So by the time we get to the mastering stage, we shouldn't have too many issues getting our song a little bit louder. If you're an Ableton user, you highlight some of these notes, you click the 0 key, and you can toggle on and off between muting and unmute. Okay, so this is what this chord sounds like. I've labeled it chords thin. And so let's listen to what this sounds like. Okay, so we no longer need all of these notes here providing the sort of quality of the chord. So if you're going to use this muting technique, just remember not to compromise the quality of the chord. This means if you have a major chord, be sure to keep the major third of the chord as being a part of the chord structure. Similarly, if you have a minor chord, try to keep the minor third a part of the chord and make sure that it remains intact. You can choose to mute the fifth or perhaps the tonic, as the bass will provide the foundation or the root of the chord. But remember, if you choose to mess around with those thirds, your listener may pick up on that and they'll have trouble discerning the quality of the chord. We get the general gist of the quality of the chord. We can tell whether it's minor or major or dominant fifth or whatever the case may be. But at the same time, we don't need all of these notes. So we're taking this and we're just doing this. All right, when it's all said and done, when we slide it into the mix and we have all the other instruments playing, the listener doesn't really notice it, all right? And that's great because it makes our mix a little cleaner. So this is what this passage sounds like. A very straightforward technique, something that you can easily apply. So let me know how it works out for you, and don't be afraid to apply this to other instruments or layers, especially in the busier sections of your song. So if you're new here, welcome to the SynthwavePro channel. Go ahead and subscribe and give this video a like. If you've been here since the very beginning, I really appreciate you hanging out with me here today and watching the video. I will see you next time. Stay safe. Bye-bye now.